the majority of people live their lives as an NPC. They're a non-playing character in the global scheme of things, right? They're actually live people doing things, going through their lives, doing the routine day in, day out, passing time, clocking in, clocking out, going home, go to eat, go to sleep, wake up, clock in, clock out, go home, go eat, go to sleep, go to clock in. It's just the same thing in a program, just a looped program, day in and day out. So essentially they become a non-playing character, an NPC. Whereas the main character is doing things in the game. Bam. Yo, what is up, everybody? This is the End-to-End Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Young Win, affectionately called the Ninja by my friends. Because you are my friends too, feel free to call me Ninja as well. This is the End-to-End Podcast, the Alpha to the Omega, the beginning to the end, talking about life, motivation, success, entrepreneurship, fulfillment, all the things you can think about, and offering you morsels in this all-you-can-eat buffet called life. Back in the studio and super happy to be here, feeling much, much better, even though I'm on day 46 of 75 hard. Brutal, man, brutal this time around. We can talk about that later, but I want to start off by saying thank you again. I always start the podcast episode with gratitude because gratitude is everything. And I want to say thank you for all my followers, subscribers, people that comment and share and like. I am so appreciative. Our audience continues to grow. Thousands and thousands and thousands of views and downloads and followers and so on. So to everyone that is supportive of the show and sharing this message and fulfilling our mission of affecting our lives, of the lives and inspiring the lives of billions across the planet. Thank you so very much for your shares. And if you're new to the podcast, we work on a value exchange. So if you learned anything, if you felt good about this podcast or any other podcast, it's because it's free on my cost, my dime, my time. Please do share the show. That's how we grow. So if your knowledge swole, share the show. That's how we grow. But great to be back, feeling good. Like I said, today's episode is an interesting one because I want to talk about mastery of your environment. So there's this cartoon that I watched growing up, and it's kind of still around. It's kind of a meme one, kind of like Dragon Ball Z-ish, but it was called The Last Airbender. In fact, there was a movie about it, and it's kind of a Eastern culture movie where there was this kid who had the ability to manipulate the air. So he was the last airbender on the planet. And, it's a kind of a kid's cartoon. Like I said, I watched it growing up and directed towards kids. But there was a message that as an adult, in retrospect, resonates with me. Because the idea was that this kid could manipulate what is unseen, the air, and use it to create power and force and generate energy out of it in order to, attack his enemies or defend himself with it. It created energy and force, kind of like the Force in Star Wars, where Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker, whichever side you're on, uses what is not seen in your common senses, your vision, your touch, your taste, your smell. You can't see it. But they manipulate this force in order to affect the physical realm. Okay. And why does that resonate with me? Obviously, arguably, if I had my tinfoil hat on, I would say that it's possible. Who knows in this universe of possibilities, what is possible or what's been hidden from all of us as far as the power of the mind and affecting energy. But in sort of a figurative yet literal way, it reminded me the idea of controlling your environment. Okay, there's two ways to live your life. You're either reactive to your environment, or actually you manipulate your environment to your goals and what you want to accomplish and achieve in this life. So let me repeat that again. There's two ways you can view your life or live your life. A reactive way where You are reacting to what transpires in your environment, in your surroundings. Essentially, the matrix puts its influence on you. Or you can live in a way where your power, your spirit, your soul, your mind, your actions manipulate the environment or the matrix. And if you want to hear my views on the matrix, go back to, I forget what episode it is, but I talk about 3 matrices that affects this real world, this realm. So as an analogy or an example of this, there's this concept that actually I learned from my son, who's 15, about an NPC, a non-playing character. And in that context, it's for guys that play video games, guys or gals, people that play video games. And let's say it's like an action game where you're a character running through scenes in a town or whatever. You have these automated characters that you run into, or that you have to interact with, or that you can assault or get weapons from, or whatever. But these are characters that nobody controls other than the software programming, the software system. And those are what's called non-playing characters, right? These are essentially figures in, quote, the gaming matrix, right? Unfortunately, many of us, the majority of people, live their lives as an NPC. They're a non-playing character in the global scheme of things, right? They're actually live people doing things, going through their lives, doing the routine day in, day out, passing time, clocking in, clocking out, going home, go to eat, go to sleep, wake up, clock in, clock out, go home, go eat, go to sleep, go to clock in. It's just the same thing in a program, just a looped program, day in and day out. So essentially they become a non-playing character, an NPC. Whereas the main character is doing things in the game, right? So in whatever environment you are, you can be 2 things. You can be the one just going through the looped routine, or you can be the one that is actually creating things, or being a creator. And that's how you escape. And that's how you know you're totally free, is when you become a creator and then become the one that is influencing your environment. Okay, so I want you to take a step back for a minute and review your own life. Like, we're in the middle of February now in 2023. Time goes by way fast. Have you lived the last 60 days, 50, 60 days as an NPC, just going through your routine? Or have you taken the energy, the thought, the self-development, the awareness, the discipline, the hard work, the grit, the persistence, whatever it is, to become someone that is playing a main role in your own life to affect the environment around you? Yes, it's a struggle. Yes, it's hard work. Yes, it's grueling. Yes, there are down times. Yes, it's depressing sometimes. But on the other side of it is freedom. When you become a main character, you get to control your life and therefore your environment, versus being in a programmed loop and letting the environment just bombard you with bad news. Either way, it's hard, right? But one leads to freedom and one leads to, quote unquote, slavery to the system. Okay? So another way to think of it, and something I came up with, is, are you a creator controlling your environment, or are you an end user? Are you a creator controlling your environment, or are you an end user? There's one thing for sure on my continuing pathway to success, is that there's nobody that is wealthy or fulfilled or successful that lives the role of an end user. Nobody that is successful, wealthy, built a legacy, whatever, all these marks of what would be titled success, nobody got there by being an end user. Everybody got there by being a creator. Think of Elon Musk, the late Steve Jobs, all these heavyweight entrepreneurs, businessmen, scientists, teachers, educators, influencers, they all create things. They don't use things. And why is that? Simple business dynamics. The end user always pays the most for the same item that the creator made. That's the law of economics. Somebody creates something for low dollars and sells it for high dollars. If you live your life as a consumer end user, you will never be on the road or the pathway to ultimate financial freedom, success, building your legacy, because you're paying the most for everything you have. Think about it this way. Everybody uses an iPhone or a cell phone, right? But who's actually making all the money? The company, Apple, or whatever, Android model, Samsung. They're the ones making the money. They're the ones building wealth, not you, who's the end user buying the product. Granted, I'm an end user in many instances myself, but in many other areas, I'm a creator. Okay, obviously we all need things to live our lives by, however our lifestyle is. And yes, as an end, I'm never going to build a supercar to be a creator of a well, I might create my own brand of supercar eventually. One of my goals. But at the current moment, I'm an end user. So I paid the most for the same item that the creator made for less. Think about that. And that's why creators, people who are able to influence their soul, their vibration, their frequency, their actions, their activity, the ones that create are the ones that actually build success and wealth, not the person or the people that buy the final product in that small ecosystem. So are you a creator or are you an end user? Are you a main character or are you an NPC, non-playing character? Because one influences the environment. One is affected and reacts to the environment. This one can never achieve success. Reactive personalities, reactive lifestyles never can escape essentially the matrix. You have to become a creator. Now, which one is more risky? Depends on what your goal is. Being a creator also requires you to what? Possibly fail. You can invest all your time, all your energy, all your determination, all your resources, all your money to be a creator and create things which ultimately never sell or are successful. On the other hand, if you're just in that loop, that programmed loop of the matrix, you don't have to risk anything. You just do your day in and day out, risk-free, no problem. But in the end, you really don't have much. So it's really a dichotomy of what you are willing to risk and if you are comfortable with failing. Because to become a creator, you have to risk failing in order to succeed. You understand that I believe in karmic balance. So there's a balance in the world. You have to risk in order to win. But you also have to be able to fail in order to win. If you just stay flatlined all the time, you're not going to do anything. You're just going to exist. And who wants a life of just existence? Existence is not living. Existence is being a robot, and robots aren't, in theory, alive. Okay? Existence requires ups and downs. It requires one to offset or balance the other. That is living. So the point is that to be a creator, to be a main character, to be a someone who is willing to risk to be successful, you have to take action. You have to be willing to fail. And understanding that failure is part of the game. It's like a no. To me, no or failure means just not this time. Reset, revisit, revise, and act again. That's not a failure. Failure is a failure on only two conditions. You die or you give up. That's ultimate failure. Other than that, it's an attempt. And you got to make multiple attempts to succeed. Right? That famous Michael Jordan quote, or I'm paraphrasing, but he succeeds because he's willing to fail. He's going to take that last second shot in order to win, but he knows that he's risking the failure to win the game. Same analogy to life. It's the same analogy of life. You have to make the attempts, right? Or the Wayne Gretzky. Some of y'all might be too young for that, but Wayne Gretzky, arguably the greatest hockey player of all time. He says, what was the quote? I'm paraphrasing, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That's true, right? But you can take 100 shots and make one to win a game. Just one. It only takes just one. So what are you willing to risk to become the main character of your life or be an NPC? It's a fundamental question, because once you make that decision, your perspective changes. Your entire perspective changes. Once I made the decision to become a controller of my environment, essentially my own last airbender, I'm able to channel and focus my energy wherever I want it to go. I'm able to, importantly, say no to things that aren't beneficial to me. Energy, people, discussions, conversations, right? If I don't want to engage in a conversation I already know is going to be a negative impact on my energy, I just don't even respond, because I am influencing and controlling my environment in order for my success, right? Because I want to be a creator of my life, be a creator of your life. Don't be an NPC. Be the main character. Risk that failure, but you'll get that taste of success. I promise you, right? So become your own last airbender. Control your environment. Don't let the environment react to you. When you understand that once you control your environment, that, my friends, is freedom, right? That, my friends, is freedom. Why? Because it allows you to become a creator. It allows you to monetarily get the rewards of being a creator. And with money also comes freedom too, right? Money's not the end goal, for me, at least, the way I define my own personal success and fulfillment. But money is an absolute necessary tool to get what? Freedom. To get freedom. Because it allows you to even more impactfully control that environment that you want to create. Right? Money allows me to have this podcast to voice these ideas and thoughts to hopefully accomplish the mission of impacting billions of lives across the planet in a positive way. So money is an absolute necessity. But money is not accomplished by being an NPC. Money is not earned by just going through a looped routine that's programmed. Money worth having, worth deploying in positive ways is acquired through becoming a creator. So, to summarize the podcast, become the main character of your life. Become a creator. Learn or start to learn to influence your environment instead of your environment influencing you. And if you need help on this, send an email or direct message me on my Instagram at N2N podcast, or email me ask@the N2N podcast.com, and I'll help you. That's part of it. It's part of giving back. For my success, I feel I need to give back. So if you need help with any of these concepts, email me, come to me, talk to me. Happy to help out on a one-to-one basis. But I want you to think about how you can become the main character of your life, to become a creator, to control your environment, and to ultimately become your own last airbender. Okay? Glad to bring this episode to you. It's kind of a short one, but I think it was really important to understand perspective on what it takes to achieve freedom in controlling your environment. Please, if you found anything valuable or worthwhile in this episode, share the episode. Please share. If your knowledge swole, share the show. That's how we grow. Dr. Yunwin, once again, host of the N2N podcast. Looking forward to bringing you another episode very, very soon.